It's a beautiful autumn day in a remote Austrian village, so I thought good time to talk about clarity. These past few days the question of clarity came up very strongly in my life, and I've had messages from some of you in comments under my videos asking me to talk about clarity. And then yesterday Greg Hydrogen Man, I encourage you to see the videos that I recorded with him last week. And so he messaged something about clarity as well, which was really interesting. It went along the lines of sometimes we gain clarity only at the end of our lives. And yes, I agree. We're living a life that is under a veil, smoke and mirrors. That's why we're not seeing our entirety. We're only seeing the veil of this current life. We're not able to peek in previous lives and to experiences from previous lives unless we're consciously looking for these. But what can we do in order to gain some clarity? Because clarity and manifestation, creation, are directly linked. If you're not clear about your path, about what your soul is supposed to be doing here, then you're not going to be able to properly create, to manifest for the long run. You're only creating transient things and things that are not going to make you happy, not going to benefit anybody. So clarity is super important. And here I'd like to also insert something. I had a conversation some time ago about clarity with astrologer Ian Altozar. Check him out if you haven't yet. And he basically said, every time I became perfectly clear about what I wanted, it naturally manifested. So it's not like you needed to do anything in addition, but clarity alone was it being clearly manifested in the physical world. So we are in the search for clarity, in other words, clarity about a certain aspect of our lives or about the path in life. We're in search of clarity. This is what we're all doing, and we can somewhat equate clarity to truth in this particular life. So how to gain more clarity, or how to be on the path of gaining clarity? You can approach it from multiple ways. I think you can approach it from the spiritual path, you can approach it from the bodily path, just like manifestation. Because if you think about it, we always talk about being in a high vibration, and being in a high vibration can be your mindset training, can be the control of your energy body, can also start from the cleansing and purification of the physical body, and it has to do with clarity. The more your physical body is cleansed of toxins, heavy metals, parasites, all of these things that hold you down, because they do hold you down, they're heavy. So the cleaner you are, the more clarity you have. So cleansing can begin from the body, it can begin from the energy, and then naturally you will adjust also your physical habits. You'll start eating differently, you start treating your body differently, and so on. Cleansing and clarification can start from being in a meditative state and searching for answers from the spiritual world, from the world of subconsciousness. However, very often it also happens to me that when I'm too persistent about getting an answer right now, it has to do with the pressure of timing also, clarity doesn't come. So clarity is like a flow, it happens naturally. You have to allow it to happen, and sometimes you need to seek external help, like a clear mirror, somebody that is not bringing you smoke and mirrors, which is the reflection of your soul. You see it through a smoke and mirrors. But somebody else can offer you, or can be like a trigger. It can be an expert of in a certain field. It can be an astrologer, an energy therapy specialist. It can be a friend that you're talking to that gives you a different perspective. Sometimes we just need somebody to show us a clearer mirror, to give us a different perspective. It doesn't mean that we always need to look for different perspectives. It really depends on what we're talking about. Sometimes we're convinced about our point of view and we don't need a different perspective. We're not looking for it. But if you are, and if you're having difficulty believing in your senses while you're in meditation, and I think this is the point when seeking external input can be really beneficial. To find clarity, we do have all our answers within us, and sometimes we just need to leave the village. And that's figuratively speaking, but also physically speaking. Leave the village. Be on your own. Find a place of seclusion, a place where you can meditate. And meditate means think about a subject in a focused way. Think of it from various perspectives. It's not only necessarily going within, saying Om, and this type of meditation that is being sold, the purposeless meditation in a way. But also I'm talking about reflecting, deeply thinking. This is meditation. Deeply thinking about a subject and in the end seeing what would make you happy, because this is the pursuit of happiness. We are looking for clarity so that we can find this feeling of oneness, a feeling that gives us joy. This is ultimately why we are looking for clarity about a certain thing. We want to be on the path of happiness. Clarity as an experience has a very distinct expression for most of us. It's recorded in the field. All of our primal experiences are recorded in the field, as I generally call them, the subconscious world. It's still subjective. And I remember last month I did a bodily cleanse and I had specific dreams. And I thought, this is so weird. I had dreams of going to the toilet and, I'm not gonna go into detail, but I read later on in a book about quantum consciousness that this is a general experience for people to have dreams when they cleanse their body. They're either fasting or simply reducing their diet to either a liquid diet or a plant-based. They very often have dreams of going to the toilet often, or like embarrassing situations related to excretion where they're actually cleansing their body. And see, the subjective mind is telling you you're in the process of cleansing. And we all have very similar experiences. We think we are very unique, and we are unique in our own way. But there are certain things that happen to our bodies, to our spirit, that are like ley lines, rule books by which we all play. And finding clarity is also one of these ley lines and rule books. Cleanse your body, ask for help to give you a different perspective, go within. They're very simple rules. It's sometimes we just go in a circle doing the same thing and expecting the same result, and we don't see that we are in a blind spot. Now I'll give you an example. I do that I lead mastermind groups using the Silva method, and I do trainings on that, and I also use another system for karma removal. But I do sometimes resort to the help of other experts on energy clearing, on karma, on things like that, because by doing it on my own, I very often see that I'm going in circle. I'm repeating the same thing, but I'm in a blind spot. And yes, we can resolve a lot of things on our own. We can, in the end, the answer is within, that's true. But the trigger, the clear mirror that lets you discover this answer might be outside of you. So it depends on you to activate it, to see it. Of course it's within you. Everything is within us. This field is within us. In quantum science, it is all in the end within us. It's just a projection. So we think very black and white. It's either inside of me or it's outside of me. But sometimes inside of you can be triggered by something outside of you. So how to find clarity? I gave you quite a few tips, my thoughts on the subject. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.